side. Huh. So Light's got... Light? This is not ESEA Light. Okay, so Light has the 5-7 with armor, so someone's essentially dropped in that and then forgone it, so I think that's Faker. So actually boosting Light up wouldn't be a bad shot. He's going to be listening out right now. If you can hear any steps. He is absolutely sod all, but they are based around drop. So they've got a 4 stack towards B. Not a bad shout either. Syken's going to see it all coming his way. And now let's see what Light can do.
Yeah, it's all happened too quick for Light to actually boost, so now he has to go out and try and fight, and the raid boss is taken down all too easily. FAB losing no one as they've made their way on towards his site. Bomb is down, and now Faker and MNL have to do what may just be the impossible.
Yeah, MNL, both these players have no armor.
No information.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, but MNL still found one. He can't really deal with extended fights, so he's trying to find cheeky little shots, and actually Faker's found one too. They're making this more costly than it should have been and removing armor away from the T side, so that'll have to be reinvested in towards next round. Faker does have the kit, but it doesn't matter. In the end, the T side just hit the brakes. They're like, okay, stop peeking them, just sit in, make sure, hello chicken, make sure the Glock actually has the range to work in. And I quite like the idea of the CT side raid boss. We're seeing obviously a couple of other people now investing. We had it on the other side. I think David as well had the Tech 9. So it's quite a nice theory. I kind of want to see him boosted up possibly, but...
I think the person who was supposed to boost him or boost up on him just walked onto the B side when they saw like the full stack from FAB. So maybe a bit of panic from LeiSuRe there as well. If they just stayed patient maybe and got Light up behind them, could have worked out. But now FAB straight down in towards drop room, wasting no time as well. They're just moving as a unit now. Those grenades are going to be hurting because they're stacked up so much. And David gets shut down as he tries to push out. Syken's there with the deagle as well. This guy is showing us some real play, but now it is down to Faker. Although it's been a costly one already for FAB.
And he can do something. He has armor. Skrunk's low. And there you go. Just swiftly removes him off the field. Now fails in a 1v1 up against Faker.
Needs a gun.
He just needs to not run through smoke when the bomb's not planted. He was trying to find a bit of an off angle, maybe catch him in transit of some variety. Not going to have that happen, but... To review that round, there was a bit of, there was some SMGs up, but there were also all rifles included, so making it costly to some degree. I would say, of course, LeiSuRe now have to completely just not go into this round. Anyone, I guess, just at minimum trying to stay above 2K. You see a deagle invested from Light, and that's about it. So, yeah, really not going for much here. A little bit of aggression again, just through mid, but not much more than that. You can't really do much. You just want to hold an angle with these pistols at this point.
Well, slower play here for FAB. No rushes this time as they, again, just want to pick LeiSuRe apart at the seams, I think, bit by bit. And so far, not so bad here as well. Batcher was pressured quite early on there by Vladarox, who managed to get a decent amount of damage away, but he eventually is forced to push too far, and Failser was always going to be there as a backup plan if required.
And I actually like the fact that Failser did let Badger get that kill to allow the UMP to build more money. Same with Skrunk. So these two players, ideally, will be the ones to get these kills. You want to build up the economy as much as you can throughout the early rounds, especially in rounds like this because there is no armor, so of course these SMGs will do wonders. Failser's going to have to chime in with one for himself as he spots out Light there, pushing through main. He was up on long before, or mid should I say, excuse me, leaving just Faker and Syken alive. Now, if they could maybe catch one off, would be cool, but you don't expect much in these rounds, and look how much FAB are reading into this. These sort of rounds almost piss you off when you're on the CT side. You're like, guys, you know that we have nothing other than maybe a P250 or a deagle. Stop playing to 30 seconds and push already. Like it gets frustrating. It makes you take fights that you shouldn't, even if you're meant to be holding an angle. So, again, good discipline from FAB, and it should pay off in the end.
Yeah, they're really not willing to lose, excuse me, any of these weapons at all as they push on there as well. Look at Freeman as well, just checking towards Coop. It's going to be Syken left out of the site, and Faker in not much of a better position there as well. He's stuck in drop room, does have a P250, but no armor or utility. The Speedcop does get the jump on them, but Skrunk turns around and gets the spray down. 2 for him, 2 for the Mac 10 user. Bit of extra money made, and FAB Games make it 3-0.
Are they going to be cheeky?
I don't
know,
Lauren,
basically, all right, so they made those first 3 rounds pretty costly. They got good kills with the SMGs. There's very limited utility here for the CT side. So yeah, they're going to be cheeky as hell. Why not? Use Skrunk and Badger again. Oh, what is this? Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm a little in love with this. I am very in love with this. Let's see how this works out because I want to see how this goes down. So they have a bit of a close smoke. So basically they can get towards the site, then take the fights. This is a really nice theory craft, but they didn't think about Chicken Coop, and that's going to be a big issue here. If they don't get the kills, and fast, they've let people just go wild. Vladdy's going to hold this one together for the CT side. Again, the theory crafting is beautiful from the T side, but the execution just lacks. It doesn't feel like it's been run against real teams here. But still, Scrunk gets pincered in the end, and Vladdy was the man to make the difference after Light got that first kill. But Mitch, that was pretty sexy CS, in theory.
Yeah, well, exactly right. It's all well and good
catfish.
to. It's yeah, it's gonna be a long night. I mean, look, that was pretty darn impressive. Like, yeah, smoke. Everyone loves a cheeky little nerdy smoke thrown in there as well. But
it does things to me.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. I mean, the problem was that Vladarox was easily able to spray down on that one as well. The player at Chicken Coop just messed with Fab, so maybe there's more holes in that strategy than they first realised. But again, another gun round here. LeiSuRe obviously losing a lot in that last round, only get P90s for a second. Well, not only get, choose to take P90s for second and MNL here, God knows why.
Well, if you're playing drop, it's not a bad
if you play
idea.
Platform.
Yeah, you can play these two spots fairly well and then upgrade, which is probably their thoughts to this. Kind of scummy, but then again, Flusher plays with a UMP here. So, you know, it does work. However, when they try and retake, for example, A, probably not so much. So, assuming these two players actually don't go to drop, ideally, if you're a Fab right now and you could see the map and see everything else, you'd be saying, okay, guys, don't you dare go drop. Go anywhere else. It looks like a set smoke play as well, because these are the sort of positions you do the smokes, excuse me, these ones, over towards the door, over towards Romeo and Juliet. You can do these sort of smokes, which is what's coming in. Again, nice theory, but let's see how now this plays out, because you've got someone like Faker in a position that hasn't been accounted for yet.
Yeah, and look, you see Sikin and MNL straight away, they get over towards Romeo. They're just set up. They're going to wait, try and get a decent spot there as well. Maybe even boost if they need to, but Faker had a good little angle off towards the side, and the bomb carrier was the first one forward. He goes down, now MNL's able to get to grips with the opponent. Not really at optimum range right there, as he is going to be shut down eventually, and that is those P90s. Just not really showing up when it counts. MNL looking to his spray with 7 points of health left, got pretty close. But yeah, Fab made the right decision. Ultimately, going to A, nullifying those P90s to quite a great degree. You can see if you're sitting at the armored truck and you're trying to fire towards the down ramp, it's too far. It's too long range. It's very, very hard to cover that as well and get into a position where you can actually land those shots properly.
Yep. And as said, the ideal thing there for Fab, which you highlighted, would be the fact that if they'd all hit the site themselves rather than going for that split. If they went for the split, those P90s could have been rifled, so you can see the difference. Anyway, into this one. Armor, 5/7 Deagles.
A big stack.
Yeah, and basically going, well, we can't particularly do much on A, so ignore that, and let's all just go around to the B side. I don't know. So this is the thing, when I'm casting, I actually do these drawings that sadly people see. But now that you guys can see it as well, I stopped doing that. But yeah, B stack for the CTs, good luck doing anything. You can get some decent work done with Deagles these days, but only Light going for the Deagle here.
Moving up a little bit closer, he is there as well. We does see the Molotov, of course, go up on platform, and justifiably so. Fab might just pull out of this side and actually try and work over on towards A. The one bonus is Vladarox is sitting nice up and close here with a 5/7, but he's going to have a whole team pushing towards him as well. This could just fall on its face there as well, and yeah, too many guns pointed in his direction, and now that was the linchpin there essentially for LeiSuRe. That was their only real presence over an A, so Sikin has to try and rotate, and yeah, just don't bother. It's going to be so damn hard and so oppressive to play from that position that he thinks twice about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't even bother, bro, seriously.
Don't even
Not from there.
bro.
Like it's so hard to play from there, dude.
And the thing is that they've got armor, and considering they're going to be on probably another eco at this point, yeah, don't keep the armor. We saw how much damage they can do when a couple of, or how much damage can be done, should I say, not LeiSuRe themselves. It was actually Fab who had those CZs and did so much work with them. But the amount that you can achieve these days if you keep hold of a little bit of armor, a couple of pistols, you're in a good spot. So hopefully for them, they do just that. They're basically baiting each other out to allow that maybe Light could get a bit of a kill in here. Could be good for him. And actually the T's are going to be walking away from that, because they don't have a great deal of money either. So it's about building up enough that they can kind of go around if they lose it, reinvest, get that AWP comfortably in place, make sure Failser can always get that to hand. That'd be great. He's already having a good game though, so this just bodes very well for him. And again, I wonder how much Fab are going to read into, okay, well, they just flat out stack B. Will they go, okay, let's avoid B now? Or will they think, well, they've done that once, they wouldn't do it again, right? Because they'd think we'd read into it. Yeah. So that's when you start playing those mind games. So how will they approach it now on the CT side? Because their money, again, is not pretty. So you can't see Vladdy or Faker even buying anything here. They're clean eco. Light picked up one flash, which I quite like. I like to see a supplement. And we are going to be seeing that once again, the smoke's coming in. So let's see how it looks from the CT side and the perspective that they see. And
again, a lot of smoke.
Yeah, it's just smoke, but there's no flashes actually following it. At this point, there they are, finally coming out. So Skrunk's been allowed on site, but he has no support. So now they're going to funnel in towards drop. Now Syken's way in there, so that could be dangerous. MNL also there, but this is beautiful. They've actually faked that B hit and hit all the way over towards A. That is brilliant. I'm a big fan of this. Hopefully it works out for them here as cleanly as they deserve.
Yeah, I mean, Syken was watching drop, but no one was watching connector there as well. So FAB just jumped down into the drop, straight over the flower bed and over towards this A side. And you can see MNL as well. Got to struggle to do too much for the moment, as well as Light was kept away by the Molotov. So good use of that just to hold LeiSuRe up. And, well, you know, Lauren, we talked last map about there seemed to be some good theory crafting on Cash there. I would say it's almost even better here as well. Sometimes it hasn't worked out. The execution's been a bit wonky, but throughout the season, this has definitely been more of a FAB map than a LeiSuRe one. I don't even think LeiSuRe have picked it, to be fair, and we've seen FAB play and win this map multiple times.
See, this is the thing. I think you can be far more creative on this map, as it's not been played as much. You can get away with a lot more creative stuff. As the rotates for CTs are so long, I'm not going to go into the dynamics of it. People mostly know already. But you know, when you have those long rotates, if someone does a set piece, it's very hard to either work out it's fake or not because there's no CT aggression. You can't push up too far to work that out. Whereas on Cash, you saw the amount of times LeiSuRe were kind of getting FAB's game.
Squeaky, go A main, get all the information.
Exactly. A little bit of pressure on B, a little bit of here, you know, Vladdy doing what he does. Those sort of plays can really pay dividends. But on here, because it's so back, FAB can kind of build these beautiful, very kind of creative pictures they want to draw on this map and get away with it. However, gun round now coming in, Mitch. This could change things. We are seeing, again, these sort of, pretty much these beast smokes coming over. But we've seen they vary off the back of it. Will they actually go for a hit here? Yeah,
well, looks like they may well do it. Smoke's going to be coming down as well, and it might just be time to pull the trigger. A couple flashes on, but Light has a good spot by the tree. First shot comes in, second one doesn't connect there as well. You can see the grenades constantly being thrown, and Light will get yet another one. Finally, he's shut down. The rest of his team weren't chiming in on the kill count. And there's a 3v2 now, at least the second comes through, gets the kill, there's smoke up on towards MNL's left, and he won't be able to see that player. But again, the shot going towards Chicken Coop won't connect, and it's back and forth. It's messy stuff here, but Faker's still full health, and Threeman has a big job on his hands.
He really does. He spots out, I think he might have spotted out one, then yes, and he does connect. Now he's actually got a good shot at this, Mitch. He's got 15 bullets, but that doesn't matter. The Syken on the retake has gone above and beyond. No kit, but they do have the time. FAB, again, just being a little undone by certain players. Initially, Light just being on that tree spot there really, really caused a hindrance. I think it was 2 kills from the same position. Picked up the first. The information was not passed quick enough, and he was able to pick up a following one. And Syken as well, finding some space to work. Really good round.
Threeman was looking scary, though, in those last few moments as well, because he had spotted and damaged both of the remaining LeiSuRe players as well. I think they had like 30 health between them. So it's getting a little bit close for comfort there, but no, LeiSuRe will get their second round of the game, and it's been only after 3 T-sided rounds of LeiSuRe now to get these rounds generally, so they're hoping to start to put a few together. You notice how Vladarox has gone for the P90 yet again. Apart from that, though, it's going to be a salvaged AK in Syken's hands, and Light goes very, very low very early on.
This is all but a clever ruse. Oh, clever's a strong word. We'll see if it actually is clever at all. Putting these two players again quite actively towards B, I guess is the best way to put it. And then the majority working through towards A. Faker's probably going to start feeling uncomfortable soon because he's not been able to peek towards long at all, so he has no info. And now the timing is going to be against him. He does actually trade out pretty well considering the situation, but then again, look at the rest of his team. No one's close by. MNL's the closest, and I don't think he just wants to walk into this. MNL, you need to slow down. You don't want to just feed yourself to the machine at this point and actually play for this retake.
Vladarox is in a position to make a bit of a flank here at this stage, although he may just have to come through with the rest of his team. He got a pick as he worked his way out with the P90. Now the bomb goes down. Threeman's in a good little spot here as well, ready to catch anyone pushing out of storage at this stage. And Vladarox is just going to try and, funnel himself out there as well. So Threeman has a good spot. What? Vladarox picks him up there as he peeks out. Great stuff from him. And now Fails is going to get shut down on the site. LeiSuRe are going to retake and get the defuse. Not generally a situation... Well, MNL fell down. Rip MNL. Not generally a situation you should really come out on at all. And especially because Light got smashed on B, right? It was just one player. Threeman was trying to sell a fake. But if you get smashed, sometimes you take all that damage. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe there's more than one person here. Or, guys, this requires our attention. Just because you take 90 damage from the guy... Sometimes teams actually are a bit more adamant on staying at B. You saw how long and how stubborn LeiSuRe were in rotating. It took ages.
And that was Whoa, again, some of these rounds.
That Flatterrock's peak was sick.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That's a peak that you don't expect to see, if I'm honest. That sort of stuff is absolutely nuts. But then some of the plays off the back of it were just really questionable. And a fast hit from Fab here. Just going to be going straight out and actually trying to pick something up, but doesn't go so well. Again, LeiSuRe holding the line pretty perfectly. Vladdy being pretty instrumental in that, and now fails it. And Scrunk trying to pick up the pieces. Smoke still into place. They can work around this. Scrunk's going to find an angle and does find Syken. So now 2v2, Mitch. That could have been possible, but now 1v2 with 4 HP. A bit too far.
It's just not enough, really. Not even close, unfortunately, especially with how healthy LeiSuRe's remaining players are. And the bomb is a long way from fails. He has to expose his back as well, even going back to get it. So there's no way that he can think about the bomb right now. And yes, he has time. He just doesn't have the health as well. All the information. There were 2 players he had to keep tabs on. And Faker is going to shut him down.
Nice of Faker to step away from his league career for a little bit to make nice shots.
Good to have him come all the way from Shanghai during
an event.
During
as well.
MSI.
It's quite
time
nice.
to play. It's great.
Yeah.
I think you got a haircut as well, looking at seeing the LeiSuRe players walk on.
I think so.
Hairstyle's a bit different. Nice though.
Yeah, looks good on him. All right, 6-4 right now. Fab are still in the lead after picking up those first 3 rounds, so keep that in mind. It's been actually pretty even beyond the pistol. That's the main thing. So now let's keep our eyes on this game and see how it's starting to shape up, because we saw some very creative plays from Fab, and Fel's you're actually quite exposed here. That's a little too far for my liking. He was all alone, no one to trade with him. No smoking play. He just took a risky shot. And it is a waste considering that was the AWP. And David, where is David? Nowhere nearby. He could have picked up the AWP, but it's also in a very risky position. So you'd have to expose yourself to get it. And well, Scrunk finds one and drops, so evens the score at least.
Yeah, weapons still slightly better for LeiSuRe at this stage. David K still has to work with just a pistol at this stage. Not really a lot for him.
Yeah.
And again, he's just trying to tap through as well. See what he can get. The Tech 9 is all he can use for the moment. Again, this Badger David setup, really standard for a Fab. They will leave this as a backstop or a potential rotation spearhead if they want to go over towards A. And Badger is actually getting the bomb here as well, so that might tell us a lot about the plans for Fab in the future, but he'll actually go join up at B there. Syken being spotted out. He's just going to back away a little bit now as well and force Fab to spend what they have on actually getting to this site the proper way here. Now, LeiSuRe have had to split at 2 and 2 here, so it's Light and Syken up against, well, 4 at this stage. Could be ugly.
I always really like it when AWPs play drop room. I think it works really well. So, remember that mild tilting?
Lauren is triggered.
He's
gone back to Nam.
And she's got Tumblr and explain how I feel, but the retake's begun in Faker at the helm of this right now. They need to be pretty fast on this. There's a lot of time gone. That flash was pretty effective, as is the shot that follows. Faker's not done just yet. And finally, the end will run with Badger being the, I guess, the man at the forefront of his demise there. But Fab, don't get me wrong, there is questionable positioning from LeiSuRe. Of course, it's annoying to lose control of drop, but just sitting there in the doorway, hoping you hit the close shot, I'd assume people could do more than that at this sort of level. I really do. So yeah, 4-7, a little frustrating, I can imagine, for LeiSuRe as well, losing out on some of these rounds, but let's see what Scrunk can do, because he's going to be the man at the forefront here, just running the way through with the Mag Daddy, and he does okay.
Gets the job done.
Yep.
Acceptable. B+. No worries. But now LeiSuRe are going to push 3 players across towards this one as well. They're just going to get caught out in the open. That's a problem. And Scrunk, well, you know, he wants to make himself a little bit of cash on the side. And Badger and Freeman combined nicely to finish that one off there as well. LeiSuRe made a big mistake in that last round, and it has cost them. It will probably continue to cost them now as well. I wonder where M&L is going with that weapon.
To be fair, there are 2 places I've seen this use. One being drop.
Can you use it like, in danger?
Platform.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, you can sit back.
I'm going through the walls because I don't care. Pasha and Edward, I'm pretty sure it's Edward, have done that a hell of a lot. And it actually works really, really well. So I'm hoping that he actually plays it by platform, just on the little lip that you can just sit under. Sight, not so much. Boosting him up. Okay, so he'll just hold the close push. And if they get on site, you'd assume that probably Light's going to be dead.
See these angles that Light wants to play, though. It's quite crazy, really.
They're going to hear that sound. Vladdy is completely blinded, but let's see how that Mag Daddy goes.
Oh, Light dropped off, but he still manages to get a kill there as well. M&L was supposed to be the man he was just stood on, but now he actually might be in a position to use that. Please, shoot the man. Oh, the bomb goes down anyway. M&L not able to get him and has to retreat through the flames. David picks up Syken there as well, and M&L would maybe like a different weapon for this. Maybe not the best.
I'm going to stick with him now. He's made his choices, Mitch.
Oh, my lord. Faker is still around as well. He's coming through from Connector. He has a FAMAS to work with now, and thank you, MNL. Replaces his weapon. Now we've got Failser up towards the side of David K in that chicken coop, and David K gets a beautiful shot there as well. He might get both of them. That man was the immovable object in that round, getting 3 kills, and Failser actually didn't do anything and didn't have to do anything in that round whatsoever.
Not a good game for MNL. The man, I was like, hey, keep your eyes on him. He's, you know, he's a veteran.
He's burnt toast, Lauren. With Vegemite.
Would you pick Vegemite over Marmite?
Or
I wouldn't personally.
I don't know. I think they're both terrible. Don't tell any Aussies I hate it.
What?
But I hate Vegemite. It's
Why?
shocking. Tastes like arse.
How much have you been tasting that?
Oh. Enough to be able to make a comparison. I'll be honest with you. Yeah.
Hitting a whole
just
new
gonna
level.
put it out there.
Hello,
Vegemite. Do you know what it is though? It's leftover brewer's yeast and vegetable salts.
It's delightful. Leave it alone.
It's brewer's yeast.
I don't care, Mitch. It's tasty.
Do you like Vegemite, do you?
I don't like the consistency of Vegemite. I prefer Marmite's consistency. Don't give me that face. Bovril's only good to drink.
Do you have a special Marmite knife? Like an application tool for Marmite?
No, it's a knife, Mitch. Jesus.
You spread in the lines on your piece of toast?
As if I'm getting grief for liking Marmite. But while this happens, Bad's just been found. But other than that, it's been a relatively clean look around, and Skrunk's just been kind of let off the leash. Just like, find them. Just sick them. Just get sent in.
Yeah, pretty solid there as well.
Yeah,
Failser getting some AWP practice as well, considering he didn't get it in the round before, where they actually were against the gunned-up LeiSuRe side.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Light puts himself in a lot of positions on this map specifically, where it's like super close angle peaks and super aggressive plays, and it looks really good, but I feel like his effectiveness is way reduced compared to maps where you can actually have longer peaks like Mirage.
I think you're spot on there. It feels like very much a one-and-done frag movie show, right? Pretty much, it's like I'll put myself in a position, if I get more than one, it looks sick. But more than likely, most of the time, I will get one and then die. And it's just like, hey, you could play that a lot safer.
You need to, as an AWPer as well, on the CT side, you need to do more. Most rounds, you need more than the one. Oh. Let's see how the rest of LeiSuRe are going to cope without the aforementioned, as he ran straight in towards mid and got picked off by Failser to start with there as well. Didn't really know what the plan was. I don't know if Light had an AWP either.
He did.
He did. Okay, well, brilliant. Well, that's a bit of a waste.
Well, he went for the peak from danger, and it's fine if you have a really, really good spawn and you feel you're a dab hand at picking up the AWP, but lost out on that one.
I'm a dab hand at dabbing. Not bad.
Stop.
Faker there has a good spot. He heard that sound as well, jumping down, and he's going to be able to turn the flash quickly enough there as well. Badger, though, actually gets a shot towards Syken. It's because, I guess, Faker was a little bit afraid to peek that one, but at least he and MNL are going to be able to try and stitch this one back together. David gets on towards the site, though, manages to get towards MNL. It's just one player for LeiSuRe at B, and Faker's burning low. He's only got 11 points of health. He needs Flatterox to come and back him up, but it's going to be about 5 or 6 seconds before Flatty even gets there. The bomb's still not planted. That is something. I think David K opted not to go for the plant and actually went for the shot.
This could be sick. Oh.
No, Threeman managed to catch Faker out there as well. Now, rotate to A. Why not? I mean, Flatterox had to win that one. Yep. And that's a very commanding half from FAB. 11-4.
Yeah. It's a T.
It's a T-sided map, guys.
That's
what you say when we're getting wrecked in the SCA and we're on whatever side we're about to go on. So, we're a T-sided team.
No,
it's a T-sided map.
I say I'm a T-sided player, don't worry. All right. Or I'm a CT-sided player.
That's right, boys.
Don't worry.
We're CT-sided. Yeah. Right.
I lied to you to try and keep hopes up because you go super emo. What do you expect?
No, I just I can't play it the level you play it, Lauren. What can I say? It's too much.
I'm a nutty gamer, that's why. It's because I have some Doritos and Mountain Dew, and then I just can't control myself.
Vape in between every frag.
Vape Nation.
So it's like automatic vapor like hooked up to you as well. So every time you get a frag, it just injects like a vape. Like,
that's it.
All right,
I'm ready to go. Yeah, that's how it works. All right.
What did your parents say when you told them you vaped? How'd they react?
I haven't told them I vaped.
Yep.
I like to keep their opinion of me relatively high, but still, 4-11 FAB with a commanding lead, as you said, and they're going to try and make a quick stop to what LeiSuRe are trying to build towards B. It was a massive hit. It was just coming straight in off the back, and actually FAB just get...
It sounded like an abattoir before Christmas, really, the sounds there of the shots coming in. That's rough. Apologies to Peter. That was not pretty. But LeiSuRe get that round back, an important one as well. And like you did say, yeah, I think and the T side is definitely where I've seen LeiSuRe be slightly more impressive on this map. It's not.
Team, Mitch,
they're a T-sided team on a T-sided map. It's all going to happen here. But to be fair, I just haven't found them impressive on Cobble really during the Meisterschaft in general. It's just not been a map they pick.
You're just really judgmental and mean, I think.
Mistriggered over here. Trigglypuff sat next to me. All right. All right.
You wait for my Tumblr post later. All right. Sexism in the workplace.
Your gender fluid followers are going to come from me.
Just don't even start. Don't even start. I'm going to get myself in trouble at some point. I'm going to bring this back in line because Mitch is a massive douchebag.
I sound like Marla Yiannopoulos right now. It's not good.
Stop it. You don't look as good as he does while he does it, which is his one getaway clause. The point being, we're in a 4v3 now. The T side do have the 2 rifles still to hand, which is the main thing here. Syken, this is all a bit of an exploration to make money, to build that bank, to keep that economy strong, but they just didn't play it well enough. And now hitting the site, there's a little bit of danger now in front of them. Syken needs to be the man with his head screwed onto the right place. He needs to keep these 2 rifles safe and sound, play the babysitter, and let loose the absolute barrage of bullets that P90 can expel. However, look who's lurking on the side. It's David. He does find one, slows down the plant. Gives a bit of time there for Threeman, but really, he shouldn't win that fight.
So this is a good recovery here from LeiSuRe. And now we actually see the P90 do some work there. Syken got 3 for the round in the end. Because they can, LeiSuRe on this T side can dictate where the fights happen. If they're going to happen in close quarters, then yes, you're justified in buying a P90. When you're on the CT side, you generally have to meet the enemy wherever they come from. So it's not so simple. Some conversation there as well in the old chat.
They're just smiley faces and question marks talking about it.
Generally, actually, these like, it's funny. The worst insult I've ever seen is like "Du machst mir fertig" or something like that. Like, you're getting on my nerves. I've never seen anything worse than that between these teams. So they get along.
Maybe they just really hate each other, so they don't even type. I want drama in CS:GO. You know that. I want teams who genuinely don't like.
Michael Jackson, welcome to the studio.
It's great. No, I want teams who genuinely don't like each other because it adds so much drama. I hate the whole, niceties.
Yeah. It's all for sponsors. It's all for Twitter, I guess.
Yeah. Shout out to Becky. I'm just gonna get in trouble with everything I'm doing now. Stop it. And now Threeman, last man standing. Yeah, they lost out on the SMGs again. They don't really care about that on the T side. They're getting bomb plants, and they keep the rifles in play. And more money should be fed across. So yeah, FAB just kind of having to weather the storm at this point. It's kind of annoying, but you just go through the motions and you wait for this round to come in. They're still with a commanding lead, 11-7, but they need to ensure they pick this one up. And Faker, you gonna do it, buddy? He's going to do it. All right, he's sticking on the MAC-10 here, just trying... Well, he knows he can buy a rifle next round and be that kind of securing blanket, as can Syken and as can MNL. So those 3 can be the security going into the next couple of rounds, basically, or next round, should I say. And actually, if they make this hit pretty quick, they could do some great damage, because there's only 1 player close by, and that's on long.
And he doesn't have time to respond to this.
No, he's going to have to stay alive and be a nuisance, and basically make it hard for them to find, set up positions. Or do something like this. That's not a bad idea either. He spots out the bomb at least, so they know it's going to be here, and all the other players are en route, but they need to take the fights and make them count.
Threeman there as well, smoke straight at his feet there, and FAB are responding to this reasonably well, but LeiSuRe have been allowed to step on towards the site. The bomb is not quite yet down. You can see the Molotov being thrown there just to try and keep MNL honest, but he gets that one down regardless, despite having taken a little bit of damage now as well. Faker playing up close like you would want to here. At least LeiSuRe can play both long and close angles with their assortment of weapons they've got there, but Skrunk is just going to go and win the fight. Lipto picks up Threeman, who's going to be pressured from the side. The comm was a little bit slow coming in from Syken there, but at least MNL and Faker can smooth things out a little bit. Now the 2v2, MNL gets the spray down, Faker playing up close with the MAC-10. It paid off holding in an extra round. He gets 2, and that is going to put LeiSuRe back in this game.
Yeah, now look at the money they have. They had that kind of risky investment on Faker and a couple of others. Now they're sitting pretty darn good. They can swap things out. They can get an AWP drop if needed. They are fine, all in all. I think Syken actually bought himself, then dropped out light as well. So yeah, just spreading the wealth around, and it's going to put FAB in a really bad spot. Again, look at these rounds, just back to back to back to back. Going to put them right down on the low money. Have only a pistol. Azuso Skrunk did get a kill with before, so there is that. There is that small silver lining, but not much. This kind of sucks if you're FAB again, because you kind of sit there through the pistol round like, don't worry. Got that gun round coming in, and you're like, yeah, okay, we're back on this.
This is where your patience starts to fray a little bit as well. Yeah. you know, it's hard enough to stay patient until that first gun round comes up, and then when it goes the way it did, it's just like, now you're starting to get a little bit annoyed. And it's very, very hard to avoid this creep into your play to a degree, but Skrunk again, got to be trying to use that Zeus. He Molotov'd away. Probably could have stayed in that position, actually. I'm not sure if it would have spread to where he was standing, but he's going to make the safe choice and get out.
Yeah, I think it does. At the end of the day, no one's going to jump down there while the molly's going, unless they smoke it really quickly, which they're not going to. And it's more about information as well. This is the bonus of having Molotovs on the T side at this point. You can just clear corners and not have to face. Simple as that. MNL can keep his for the final hit towards the site, whichever one they're choosing. And look at this. They're sort of like a champ. Just keep your... Let's just... Oh, look at this lovely motion coming on right now. Look at this. Just swirly, swirly pretty colors. Because that was just brilliantly done. They've removed 4 players away from their initial position, leaving only 1 man in spot, which is David. Yeah, and then David's going to... That first shot... Going to be very important. He needs to find a head, finds a body, finds another body. Not quite what he was looking for, but at least he's been able to put a bit of damage across. Eventually, he's going to get pushed, but in midair, it's fake going to fall, and David gets yet another one as well. Badger's got to be in to help out, and David now has himself an AK. The bomb is dropped up on platform, and Syken is left on his own. David just went beast mode. That was 4 kills for him in the end, even finding Syken at the last second after picking up that rifle. He was the one player to not leave that spot. The one last standing Bastion makes all the odds, because other than that, LeiSuRe was selling the fake. They were selling the story. It was unbelievable. They pulled every single player, barring David, away. So credit to him for holding his nerve and holding the site down. That's going to put FAB back in a great spot. This map is so funny as well, because the teams can't really interact with each other until they're already committed to a site, right? That's kind of why this map is rotationally quite important. So when it happens, it all happens so quickly, and you need to be able to get it done in a pinch, and David played so well in the last round. LeiSuRe coming in here with a lot of rifles and losing 2 already. Fails are getting another one. LeiSuRe may be coming back in with a tilt here. It's not working out in their favor, and Fails are... Oh, actually, he's going to be able to stay alive just for now. That AWP in his hands, and Faker is going to fall. Fails' revenge is complete, gets himself all for the round as he picks out from that chicken booth, coop, whatever. It's a photo booth with chickens in there. FAB get the round. It's 13 to 8, and I'm losing my marbles. I'm the one who's had, what, 3 hours sleep? You should be keeping it together. Well, I'm meant to be the low bar here, which is normally the role I feel, but you should be, you know. Don't say bar. What you mean? I actually don't. Am I missing out on something funny? Have I said a funny word? I don't know. But anyway, Skrunk's having a good time. Going to find 2 himself and actually lose out on the rifle, but none of the T side has armor, so they can't really supplement it, and you can see how well that generally goes. This time, good work from the Deagle. I'm pretty sure the Blaze is just like one of the Deagles that actually works better than all the others. I'm almost certain, because Nico has one. Yeah. Slight tweak there, I'm sure. It's like the gold skins back when we played Call of Duty. It was like, they were always better. Extra bullet. Yeah. That's right. But he couldn't see it. He couldn't see the animation, but it was there. No, it was there. All right, so FAB looking in a very good position to take this to a 3rd map, Lauren. I mean, it could be a long night. We already started like an hour and 40 minutes late because the FIFA guys were getting into it. So I hope you guys on stream and on the Twitch channel are in for a big night of CS, because that's where we're headed. Yeah, I would say you could be watching DreamHack right now, but that's not what you want to do. You want to watch us slowly lose our minds. That's what you want. Skrunk, you had such a good chance, and there was 2 plays along. He had the perfect spawn for this, and he's actually let Failser go to the other side. So he's taken, I guess, the ideal AWPing role out of these 2 at this point, and completely whiffed it. So he needs to back away. If he challenges on long, that could actually be a massive error without actually flashing it or doing anything. Yeah, it goes that well generally. You've got to be a sick AWPer to do that sort of stuff. You know, some people can pull it off, but if you picked it up because of a good spawn, I don't expect you to be able to be doing those sort of things. So now FAB man down, this kind of sucks, right? Because you find it so hard to find info. You could assume maybe it's an A. There's still a minute left, so if you pull a player over, you're leaving gaps here and there. So now they've chosen to leave this poor man as a solo player, pretty much. Yeah, Failser will be over at B, just here in Faker. So teams have managed to at least match each other at the moment, and FAB with a correct hold on A. Badger is slowly rotating across, and this is going to leave that A worst defended for the moment. MNL's not going to see a whole lot for the moment here, I'd say. David should behave himself. And Freeman's up on the side as well. So Faker again just trying to test there. Failser picks him up on B. That won't really provoke any sort of movements from the rest of the FAB guys. It looks like they believe that it was a fake, just that one player across. But David's going to get shut down pretty quickly. It's MNL there. But the Molotov really finding its mark there. But MNL gets another AWP frag. It's a 2v2. And now rotation's being forced by FAB. They've got to get into position. Patcher
hoping to get the drop here, and he does. Perfect spot for him. Vladarox is going to fall. MNL at least is on the site, but only 12 points of health left. It's not a lot to work with.
He needs the ace, Mitch. He's got 3 kills already. Let's see what you can do. You have 5 seconds now. And yeah, in the end, Fells could have just run away. Badger just had to stay alive, or just be enough of a meat sponge, or I guess bullet sponge at that point, to receive all the damage. So yeah, at the end of the day, nothing you could do in that situation, sadly, for MNL. And actually, at this point, he's had a bit of a shocking game.
Yeah, it's not been good.
Yeah, hello?
Well, to be fair, I mean, I haven't seen any real high flyers for LeiSuRe, generally speaking. It's just not a good map for them. And I wonder, you know, we talked last map, like, okay, Seekin comes in as a ringer, how's he going to go? No problems from him whatsoever. The only problem, I guess, could still be in terms of shot calling and who's doing that and why and at what point. But really, he's impressed me to a great degree. Definitely the least of LeiSuRe's problems here.
Yeah, and Scrunk is, again, in a really awkward spot. He can get overwhelmed here, and luckily for him, no one from LeiSuRe checks this. How has he not been even peaked at this point? He was pushed up out of position, he got away with it, got back to site, and now, Mitch, I'm done in this round. You go. You know, you're casting this. You carry on.
Dreamy there gets a spray down as well. It's going to look for another one, but MNL comes through with nothing but the Tech 9. Unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough to plug the gap, as 2 AWPs still sit in the hands of FAB. Just one player. Faker, though, manages to get a bit fortunate there as well, but a pretty lackluster showing there from LeiSuRe on that map is going to give FAB the map score. It's going to be 1-1, and we are going to be going to train. It is going to be a 3-map affair after all.
What was that final round?
Was that a rhetorical question? Or?
No, it's, pretty much at that point. I think it's between me and chat just going, fuss? Yeah, I don't know what the hell goes on in some of these games, because it's so one-sided to a degree. LeiSuRe just looked like they came into this map and went, nah, we're not really good at it, don't worry about it. We've got the 3rd map anyway, because Train plays out more like Cash than Cobble, so that'll be fine. I don't know. It's a really, really weird game so far.
No, I haven't seen Train played, to be honest, through the Meisterschaft. I haven't seen LeiSuRe played either, so it's just going to be very, very interesting in general here as well. A very
Interesting's a strong word.
That's my diplomatic training coming out there as well.
No, it's the fact that these players are really good. You see some individual plays that are actually quite impressive. You see the FAB can create some great things. You see a lot of these great plays, but then you just see so many rounds, you're just like, what made you decide that? You know what I mean? You always want to ask players afterwards, like, just talk me through it. Like, I hope, actually at the venue they sit down and go, okay, well, talk us through this round, talk us through this clip, because, your choices did either work out really well or what went wrong in your opinion, because some of them are just like, like that.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, me and Trigglypuff are going to be back after the break. It's going to be the 3rd map coming around the corner, and it's going to be Train.
Deserve that.
Hang around for that. We'll be back soon.